All right, so it's quite the whirlwind week for you. I believe you go from 7-on-7 to an unofficial visit to just a commit in a span of a few days. What
Right.
was that kind of that stretch like for you?
I mean, I was like, I enjoyed the process. I mean, I did my work at Sevens, and they saw something that they liked, so I appreciate them for like seeing that and like reaching out to me. And I mean, the visit, it was amazing. It was cool to be around like the facilities and have Coach Dillingham like walk me through campus and stuff.
When about that visit, when you get to see the things up close and personal, get kind of behind the scenes look and everything, meeting these people face to face. What things made the deepest impression on you, and ultimately kind of were the biggest factors in your decision?
I feel like the biggest like factor of it was the way Coach Dillingham and the other coaches that I met, Coach Ward, how they like made an impact on my life right when I got there. They like Coach Dillingham. He was like he brought me in kind of and like he was trying to make a relationship more than just football. If that makes sense. And then with Coach Ward, he was just like I was there for like a short amount of time, but I learned so much from him just from that short time.
And I believe you're friends with the current Sun Devil, Ramar Williams. What was some of the feedback, in that decision making process? Obviously, he's gone through a little bit here, with the program. What kind of feedback did you get from him?
I mean, he just told me it was a great place to be in. Like he was just telling me how it's a family over there, and if that's what I'm looking for, then right here it is. Like here's the place for you.
Talking and getting to know Kenny Dillingham, one of the youngest head coaches in major college football. You mentioned kind of the family atmosphere. What kind of jumped out to you as a head of a program, as a leader from Coach Dillingham?
His presence was like his presence was big with me. He didn't like go into a shell. He like expressed himself and was like free like to be him. If that makes sense.
As a local guy, what does it mean to be kind of a Valley guy playing for the local university?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, I have a fan base right here. I got my coaches, everyone that's seen me grow up. They can come watch me and support me. It means a lot.
A guy's a guy who's playing at a smaller level high school. What do you hope that this commitment to a Power Four program says to other guys that might be playing at below the 6-5A level and type of stuff like that?
If you can play football, you'll get found. Like it doesn't. I mean, do they matter? I mean, of course, it's high level competition, but you can get same opportunities just doing it your way. Always bet on yourself.
Was playing college football always a lifelong dream of yours?
Yes, sir. My lifelong dream is to go play in the league. So this is the next step to achieving that goal.
I believe your father you played college football as well. What kind of impact did he have on your journey and now helping you get to this next major step on the way to your lifelong goal?
I mean, it was everything for real. He was kind of like my rock through the whole process because he's done it before, and just like growing up and like being able to learn from him. Like whenever I felt I wasn't good enough or like I'm not like trying to do this today, he would always be the first one to be like, "This is what you said you wanted. Go be Uriah." You know.
So you obviously put up some massive receiving statistics last season. Well over 1,000 yards, a bunch of touchdowns, but also playing other positions as well. I believe quarterback, linebacker, DB at various times. How has playing those other positions maybe helped elevate your game, or could have a future impact on your success at wide receiver?
I mean, being able to play DB, you get to learn like how they think and how their technique is, and you could use that to, of course, your advantage as a receiver. And then just from you can see the game from like different perspectives, and you have different like rules. If that makes sense.
Any ASU fans out there who might not have caught you in action or seen your film, give our viewers and listeners a scouting report. What kind of skill set do you bring to the field as a receiver?
I'm a big body receiver, and I like to catch the football.
We're getting to know Coach Ward. What kind of stands out about him? Obviously, the NFL resume and what he's been able to do kind of speaks for itself. But when you got to know him from a coaching perspective, as your future position guy, what kind of jumps out to him most?
I feel like his personality, it was big with me. Like you would never be able to tell, like if you didn't know who he was. He doesn't give off like I'm Heinz Ward. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just like when when I met him, I didn't like know who he was at first because like it was so like he was so nonchalant about who he was, and I feel like that's big.
Of course, he obviously was known as not in addition to being a guy who put up 1,000 catches in the NFL, but as the league's best blocking wide receiver. And during spring practices, he'd like to tell the guys, "You got to block to get the rock." How does that kind of gel with you? Are you somebody who likes to do that dirty work that doesn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet?
I've grown towards it. I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, like coming up, I wasn't about it, but once you realize that it's a team game and you got to do your part, even on the run plays, even when your quarterback's out in space, I enjoy blocking.
Kenny Dillingham's obviously made his mark as an offensive mastermind. New offensive coordinator Marcus Rose had great success over his career. When you've gotten to know the Arizona State offensive scheme that you'll be playing in, next year, what kind of jumps out to you about what the scheme and how they like to use the wide receivers?
They like to get the ball to their guys in space and let their athletes make plays, and I feel like that's something I could thrive with.
Of course, you'll be playing in the Big 12. What are your thoughts on playing in the Big 12 conference and teams across the Texas, the Midwest, and everything?
I mean, I'm excited because in the Pac where they were Pac 10, right? So they or Pac 12, they've like played in the same environment. Like everything's the same out here on the West Coast. So being able to go in like the Midwest and be in the Big 12, I feel like it's gonna be a great experience.
And then one last season at the high school level. What are your goals for this season, this fall? And what are the things you want to do during the course of that season that you think will help prepare you for that jump up to major college football next year?
Well, right now, as like being who I am for my team, just becoming a better leader and just like leaving my mark on the 2A level, show that I was like the best player to do it at the 2A level, and then just keep progressing as a receiver, keep getting in with my coaches, and just keep working day in and day out.